On Saturday, October 7th, Israel was attacked by the Hamas militant group in the Gaza Strip, marking the largest civilian massacre in Israel's history. As a result, conflict has erupted in the Middle East, causing geopolitical tensions. Here on the eMoney channel, we have talked about the basics of financial success, but today it's time to break down how geopolitical and global events can affect your financial success. You can start preparing yourself right now for financial success by first liking this video, hitting that subscribe button, and turning on the post notification bell. Okay, I know the first thing you're asking is how can something happen across the world outside of your country affect what's going on in your life? We're going to break this down for you guys as quickly as possible. So around the 1800s, the concept of the gold standard and globalization was introduced. This caused countries around the world to become increasingly dependent on one another for things like services, labor, raw materials, and manufactured products. An example of the negative effects that globalization can have on countries is very evident through the Ukrainian war. Before the breakout of the war, Europe was heavily reliant on Russian oil. Due to the aggression with Ukraine, European countries and NATO allies thought it would be best to sever economic ties with Russia. With oil being a vital part to any economy, European countries took a large hit in their protest against Russian aggression. As access to oil becomes more scarce, the price increases, ultimately increasing the burden on consumers. Lack of essential resources causes economic softening, which directly affects the job market. This means that you're not only likely to have increased expenses, but you also have a higher chance of losing your job. Understand that wars are not only disruptive, but they cost a lot of money to conduct. Post-pandemic, countries have already been increasing interest rates with the hope of easing inflation. The current level of inflation is largely caused by printing done during the pandemic as well as funding the Russia-Ukraine war. The current Israeli conflict is very likely to have the same effect on US markets, especially since the US has come to the aid of Israel in the past. Israel is the United States' closest partner in the Middle East, and they are vowing not to stop until they have destroyed the Hamas militants. So I think it's safe to say that this conflict is not ending anytime soon. Roughly 31% of the world's oil is produced in the Middle East, and on top of that, United States oil reserves have been literally falling off a cliff since 2021. On top of this, the United States is already $33 trillion in debt, with their monthly payments being recorded at through the roof. If the Federal Reserve decides to keep increasing interest rates, it's only a matter of time before the banking sector collapses. We've seen signs that the banks are weakening with the collapse of banks earlier this year like First Republic, Signature Bank, and Silicon Valley Bank. Higher interest rates means that banks will reduce lending, causing the housing market to soften and also making it harder for small and local businesses to get loans. At this point, the government is out of money, and there has been several instances where the government almost shuts down because they couldn't find a resolution on the debt ceiling. When the government runs out of money, their solution is to simply print more. This directly decreases the value of the currency and also makes your buying power and the hard-earned money that you worked for less valuable. This is why it's essential to be invested in an asset that has a set supply, and why I preach the message of Bitcoin. Bitcoin was created in 2008 during the financial market crash for this exact reason. It is meant to combat inflation and government printing, as well as act as an alternative to the current financial system. If you guys haven't already, I recommend you check out the video on our channel talking about how you can go from middle class to millionaire. It outlines why you should be getting into and investing into Bitcoin. Feel free to share below how the current economy has affected your lifestyle, as well as check the description for more financial tools. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.